Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1972 Seattle Pilots What If Scenario. We are back at it today, adding the 1972 Topps baseball cards to our sim. We have made it in the American League all the way through the American League East, and now we're working on the American League West, which means we're working on the Chicago White Sox today, adding the 1972 Topps cards. And I've already went ahead and searched for Angel Bravo, and he has no cards in 1972. It's just so strange to see that. The guy got 600 at-bats in our sim. We started our sim in 1969 for those who are new to the channel. And so these are the actual 3 seasons that we've played the sim, and he's been like a regular. But in real life, he did not have a card in 72. He may very well have been done with his career. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that's kind of what I like about Baseball Mogul, is you'll sometimes see these careers that should be done, carry on, and maybe even put up some pretty good numbers. So, Angel Bravo, you're toast. Let's take a look at Bob Spence. Did he have a 1972 card? We're going to try to get through all of the batters. No, he did not have a 1972 card. We're going to try to get through all the batters. I don't think we'll have enough time to do the pitchers as well. That'll be a separate video, maybe tomorrow. It will go so much more quickly if there aren't a lot of cards to add, but that's the whole point. We want to update the cards. There's one card for Rich McKinney, and it is a 72. He was on the Yankees in 1972. So we're going to go ahead and add the first card. This always takes a little bit longer when you get, to get through the first one, and then they go pretty quickly. So you may have to be patient here. Yes, move and replace, and that'll update the next time we look at the videos. All right, Ed Herman. He had a pretty good year for the White Sox in our sim in 71. Got to become their everyday catcher. 30 grounding in the double plays, though. Batted 300, but a 30 grounding in the double play. I mean, that's what you expect from a catcher. Yeah, so he's got a 72. It's like the White Sox had a lot of team issue type stuff that year. So he was still on the Sox. It's just weird to see the 71 cards, as you can see in the corner, with Herman. And it's the white and blue uniform. And I guess I can't tell if it's blue or gray. But, sorry. But, yeah, I mean, this is a team that was not shy about switching up their uniforms and their logos. Let's see here. There we go. So yeah, you got to give good old Comiskey all the props for doing that. Is Carlos May. I double-clicked Ed Sherman's photo, so it might actually pop up, and I'll have to close it. It's annoying, but it happened. I think it did. Carlos May, 22 years old, 23 this season, and really just starting to get in the flow of it. Let's see, Carlos May, pop up his card here. There it is. Yeah, okay, my bad. Close that out. Okay, Carlos May. I always, as I'm doing the prep work, it gets me excited to play the game. I mean, I'm looking forward to the 72 season in general, but having said that, our team is going to be really bad, the Seattle Pilots. I've not done a very good job of setting them up for success. we've drafted some pretty good players, as we're looking at Terry Crawley here. We have drafted some pretty good players, but they're not ready for prime time yet. Come on, Terry Crawley. There it is. The Orioles. And, yeah, because we're not ready for prime time, we're going to really struggle. The best thing we could do is spend, try to save our money in any way we can to earn some extra cash, because we do not have, we got to delete this, because we do not have any cash to get free agents. So we are, I mean, especially our pitching staff for the Pilots looks pretty bleak. And even our ace, who we're way overpaying, was technically out of baseball by this year, by 72. So that's bad. That's a bad sign. Lee Richard has already got a card. That's great. There's John Donaldson. He must have been a free agent signing for the White Sox. Now, did he have a 72 card? That is a 1970 card. So maybe he was already done. Let's find out. Yeah, one card for Milton Bradley. So I guess he's going to stick with the A's/Pilots card. Bill Melton, he was still around for sure. Let's take a look. 72 Melton. Oh, he's got a bunch of stuff. I wish they had these Kellogg's cards in there. I love the Kellogg's cards as much as I love the Hostess cards. Bill Melton was among the home run leaders. Oh, actually, he led the American League in home runs. I wonder how many he hit. He's even got an In Action and a Boyhood Heroes. Or a Kid Pictures, whatever. Pretty cool. Well, there you go. I did not realize that Bill Melton led the American League in home runs in 1971. I guess I'm kind of curious how many he had. You probably are too. Let's click on his name, and it'll go to Baseball Reference, and we'll just take a quick look and get our answer. That's why we're doing this. Slowing us down, but, you know, like, knowledge is power. He only had 160 career home runs, and he had 33 in 1971. In fact, he had 33 in 1970, and then he was never that good again. I don't know what happened in 72, but he was not, he must have been injured, and then he managed to get to 20 just 2 more times. Well, now we know. Okay, Doug Adams. It doesn't look like he's going to have a card. Let's find out. Douglas Adams was the author of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Remember all that? No card. If anybody can dig me up a Doug Adams, that would be sweet. Butch Alberts. This guy pinch hits all the time in our game. He needs one more year until that DH spot can open up for him, and he'll play every day. But, yeah, I think he was on Toronto in that photo, so he's got a few years. There's Ken Berry. Let's see if he's still sticking around. Age 30 in 1972. Yeah, he's going to have a card. Looks like he was on the Angels. There he is. Yeah, you can't see the cap. They're giving you the nostril shot so that you don't see that he's actually wearing a White Sox baseball cap. And that's how they did it. You can see on this 71 card, they just airbrushed it out, right? Why would they do that, though? Unless he was already on the Angels, and maybe I updated this to the White Sox. That's probably what it was. Rich Morales. He was an everyday player for the White Sox in our sim. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah, he did have one. Nice. That's all. It was just one. There he is. Got the red cap. I really have always liked the White Sox uniforms, but I'm going to have to give it to the 80s versions, though, where they had, like, socks across their chest, you know, that kind of thing. I like that. Okay, so we do need to delete this. And there we go. Okay. Tommy Reynolds. I have a feeling he was still around. Let's see. He had 23 home runs in our sim year in 70. Oh, nope. He was not around. Was he under Tom Reynolds? Probably should just double check that. Nope. Okay. He was done. Wayne Nordhagen. Looks like he's going to make the roster, perhaps. We know that he did not play in 1972, but we like to double check. And no, he did not, because that's a 78. Or 77, I guess that was. No, 78, my bad. Okay, Ron Lolich. Yes, that is Mickey's brother. And he was a rookie in 71. Does he have a 72 card? Couldn't even trade on his brother's name. He might have been one and done. Here's Art Kusnyer. Well, this is a 72 rookie, so that is his card. So that makes it easy. Jim Clark. Oops, come on. Let's see. Was this a real guy? We're into AAA now, as you can see. Oops, damn it. Let's see. Nope. If anybody can find me a Jim Clark from 65 to 71 somewhere in there, that'd be cool. There's Ozzy Osbourne, R.I.P. Ozzy, real name is Dan. And then we have Ozzy Blanco. That's got to get confusing. Ozzy Blanco. He had a 71. Does he have a 70? I mean, ball players just came and went in relative amenity back then, right? Jose Ortiz. No card so far. None here. We need a Jose Ortiz center fielder card, perhaps. Dick Kenworthy. Out of baseball by 68, according to the game. And yet he's still playing here. Any chance he had a 72? No. Well, we're moving along. John Mateus. Did he have a 72? Nope. Well, this is going quickly. Gail Hopkins. Gail could be a man's name. I'm just saying that out loud. All right. Yes, he was on the Royals. So we'll update his card. 7, 8, 9, 10. We use 10 characters when we can. Helps differentiate. And we update it. And now we're looking at Tommy McCraw. That's a good name. But it looks like 69 was the last year he had a card. Oh, damn it. Tommy McCraw. And no, he's done. Bob Christian. Detroit Tiger. On our World Series team, at least for 3 at-bats. And yet, somebody felt like this guy needed to get a baseball card. That's crazy. Bob Christian, nope. Ken Hotman. You never live up to that name. Nobody. Are these real people? Am I real? I'm having an existential crisis right here, adding these cards. Chuck Brinkman. Eddie Brinkman's brother, who happened to be a catcher. 1 card, and it was the Topps card for the Sox. All right. That is 8, 9, 10. Cool. There's Leon Roberts. Detroit Tigers. Love those spring training baseball caps. Actually, I think those actually did become their real caps for like a year or two. In whatever, 76, 77. Don't like them, to be on the record. Leon Roberts, yeah, he's not going to have a card. That's his rookie, I believe. George Orta. I mean, this, as you can see here, the White Sox have some pretty good players. George Orta did not play at all in 71 in our sim. He doesn't have a rookie card until 73, so, you know. Well, is he going to have one here? Wait, what? Oh, that's a team card. So he did have a team issue card in 72, but his first Topps card is this one in 73. So yeah, he got some regular PT, and they're not using him, and he's got a peak of 91. So I mean, he's going to be a good player. Same with Lamar Johnson. On an unrelated note, lemurs are my favorite zoo animal. Seriously, I'm not actually just saying that for laughs. Whenever I go to the zoo, I want to see the lemurs. Bill Sharp. No, because that's a 74. Derek Bryant, obviously this guy's not going to have a card. We actually went pretty quickly through these. We're in Double A, but I mean we're probably getting pretty close to the end of these as we're just typing in names and not getting results. So maybe we will continue and do the pitchers. Rick Burleson. Yeah, we're gonna check. We know he doesn't, but we're gonna do it. But they got Burleson. There's some good players coming through the minor league system in our sim for the White Sox. Bill Buckner, for crying out loud. Without a mustache. But his eyebrows are working overtime. Now, in my experience of playing this game, here's Bill Buckner. Topps Gold Cup card. Bill Buckner gets abused. Like, he does not ever perform well in our sim, and I'm not really sure why that is. So, we wish him luck. Oh, okay. All right, so we got to delete that one. And then we have to go in here. Edit. He's from Vallejo. There we go. That's updated. Nickname is Billy Buck. Not very original. I guess it's better than Butterfingers. Sam Ewing. Oop. There we go. Another guy with a peak in the 80s. If we play this long enough, we'll see a lot of these guys come through and actually like have careers. I really only like to play a sim for like 6 years, but I don't think that is going to be long enough for us to really get the full effect of what we're trying to do here with the Seattle franchise. Like, we really probably should keep playing until the Mariners come into existence, and then the Mariners will become the Brewers, right? And that will be interesting, because then the Brewers will be an expansion team. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, and then things will just start cooking. We could, we really could play, excuse me, we really could play this sim forever. And I don't know if that's worth it or not. When we finished the Detroit Tigers 6 seasons, I mean, I was pretty much done. And the players had switched teams through trades and free agency so much that it didn't even resemble actual players and teams that we recognized. You know, so, which is I'm okay with, right? But then, like, as someone who's putting the content out there for others to observe, I just get those messages all the time. Like, hey, Mike Schmidt isn't on the Cubs or whatever. You know, like, I know he wasn't on the Cubs. It's a sim. These random things happen. Bob Sheldon. What about Bob? Let's see. Nope. We got single A. Dale Solderholm. Brother of Eric? Has to be, right? You don't hear a lot about the Solderholm brothers. Rick, sweet. Dude. Sweet. Obviously, that's his rookie card, so he's not going to have one. 89. John Poff. 87. I mean, they really have a pretty good setup. All right. Yeah, we're doing it anyway. Frankie George. Frankie George actually had a card. You see it right there. It's a Coca-Cola card. It must have been from a minor league franchise. I just can't tell what that is, but we know he's not going to have the 72. Danny Goodwin. That first year of the Detroit Tigers sim that we played, 1980, I believe Danny Goodwin was the American League MVP for the Twins. And then I think he got traded to the Mets, and they shuffled him to AAA, and the MVP was never heard from again. That is the kind of thing that sucks about Baseball Mogul, of the many things that do suck about it. Here's Andy Dies. Eddie Ford. All right. And back to Angel Bravo. Okay, we're going to save this, and then let's check and see what our count is and time. And will it be worth it to continue? 25 minutes? Hells to the yes. We're going to keep going. All right. If you want to pause it here and come back later, if it's too long for you, we're going to keep on moving with the rotation in the bullpen and then all the minor league pitchers. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this team is terrible here. This is where they suck. I mean, they don't just suck by statistically, because they're actually not that bad, but these are just, we're talking about the schlub of the schlubs here. Starting with Jerry Nyman, who this game thinks is a god. And we have to figure out which way it's spelled, if there even is a 72 card. Is it Jerry with a J or is it with a G? No. Is it with the G, Holmes? Nothing but a G thing? Yeah, okay, so he was out of baseball. He just won 19 games. And, yeah. Greg Ballo. We know he's not real. Nope. All right, come on. There we go. Fred Clagis, another pitcher who was out of baseball. Who was in this rotation in 72? I mean, they had to have somebody pitching, right? Tommy John? Fred Clagis? Let's see. Known for him. Here's another pitcher, Sammy Ellis. He's going to be done. 12-9 though. Yeah, what happened to these guys? They just disappeared. Okay, Tommy John, we know he's going to have a card. He is technically their 5th starter on a team of no names. 10 wins, and Tommy John will have 100 in his sim career. There he is. On the Dodgers in 72. Pardon me. Okay, well, we got a lot of Tommies here. Get rid of that. And then we got to take it out here. Terre Haute, Indiana, that's where he's from. There he is. Probably still had his White Sox cap on in that photograph. Don Eddy, he is their closer. That's a 72 baseball card, rookie card. Danny Murphy. I'll never forget, in a Topps Archives box, I pulled out a Danny Murphy buyback autograph card, this exact card, that was stamped with the Topps anniversary stamp, and then Danny Murphy had actually autographed it. It's pretty cool. I might actually, the reason why it's in my forefront of my mind, it does not have a card. Is it under Dan Murphy? Just double check that. Is because I think I'm going to give away the next contest a buyback autograph card from 75. We'll see. Don Seacrest, all up in your face. Seacrest out. Seacrest's face. Yeah, not a lot happening here. There's Jim Magnuson. He's got a card. That's good. Fred Rath. Pat Jaquez. I'm pretty sure he had a card at some point in his career. I don't know why. Maybe we just didn't have one that popped up. It feels like a guy that I should know. No? We're already into AAA. That's how quickly we're going. I mean, this is ridiculous. I like doing this because I want to make sure we're complete, but there's just so many schlubs. And you play, the reason why I like to play 6 seasons is by the time you get to the 6th season, the game has cleared out the dreck, right? Like it's forcibly retired Mike Hershins or whatever that guy's name was, you know, like, and players like him. It's only the wealthy teams that will keep signing them even though they don't even need them. Cisco Carlos had a Milton Bradley card, but not a real card. There's Wilbur Wood. I think he was probably in the rotation, right? I mean, they don't show him as a starter, but he was... Is he a knuckleball? Yeah, he's a knuckleball guy. And I think they started using him as a knuckler. Oh, I spelled it wrong. My bad. Wilbur. You just don't name kids Wilbur anymore. Right? Like, please tell me you don't. This was like the final generation of Wilburs. Oh, wow, he was good. ERA leader. Pitching leader. That must have been wins, I guess. Yeah. So there you go. That's the other starter. He does have a 61 endurance, which is like having a middle reliever in 1972, right? You got to have a 90 endurance to really be considered, or an 80 at least, to be considered a starter in a baseball mogul in this era. You'll see spot starter 4 or 5 innings per game, which is why he's probably not getting respect. And he was good. You know what? Let's find out. Well, you know, like we're trying to get through this, but what did he lead in? 72. Or in 71, I guess. All right, let's see here. Holy shit. He had an 11.7 WAR. That is mind-blowing. That is like Mike Trout, Miguel Cabrera level. So he was in a 191 ERA. He went from 77 relief. He went from leading the White Sox in all of baseball in relief appearances for 3. And they said, you know what? Let's just throw out 334 innings. And then 376. And then he led in wins for 2 years. I mean, Wilbur Wood, come on. That is amazing. Wow. Respect. That's awesome. Jeez. That's crazy. Come on, game. And they just did that, especially the White Sox. Remember, White Sox made Goose Gossage a starter for 1 year? He lost 19 games or some shit. Like, oh yeah, I know you're an epic reliever, but you could also just start. And we're going to throw you 275 innings. How's that sound? And you couldn't do anything about it because, like, it's your only job, right? You're selling used cars in the fall. You know, at your local Chevrolet dealer. Gary Peters was another underrated pitcher from this era. On the Red Sox. any of the ball players that are still alive from this era, they've got to be so pissed off. I mean, there are starting pitchers that make per start what some players made for a whole season or career, you know? Oh, what am I doing? Sorry, I'm talking and not thinking. Rich Hinton. That's a 73 card, so I'm guessing he's probably not going to have a 72 yet. Oh, he does. He's on a rookie card. Oh, this is a high number card. $12. John Curtis, Rich Hinton, Mickey Scott. All right. The players that made it onto these rookie cards, like these were real prospects. They just didn't throw you on a card because they had to fill up a card. They legit thought this person was going to be somebody. Like Lloyd Colson. He's on the rookie card from 71. And they're like, yeah, Lloyd Colson, he's going to be good. And then I don't think he's going to have another card. No. One and done. John Cumberland. I hate this card. This is another card I've always disliked. Just because of the damn hat. They airbrushed that logo. It just looks like, I don't know. It looks like he's got a mountain of hair or something. It's just dumb. Oh, he did have a card. That's good. He redeemed himself in 72 by at least getting a Giants logo on his hat. Cumberland. That's 10, right? 5? Yeah, it is. All right. Hey, still pitching. That's more than some. Here's Ken Fragling. He has got huge ears. Ken Fragling. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? And then Ozzy Osbourne again. Yeah, okay. Tom Griffin. Pardon me for coughing. Tom Griffin, I think he still might be around. Has not even played in our majors. Oh, he did not have a card in 72. All right. Billy Wynn. Oh, Billy. Here we go. No! What are we doing here? Come on. Dan Osinski. He's got big, heavy brows. Nope. Dan Newmeyer. I feel like we really haven't covered too many new cards with the White Sox. They had 760 cards in the set, so you know we're going to be updating a lot of cards, but Stan Perzanowski. That's a real player. I know he pitched for a couple of years, but not until 76. Denny O'Toole. Oh, Denny. It's a 71 rookie, I believe. 72. Pardon me. 72, no dice. All right, Jim Geddes. I wonder if he was married to Ann Geddes, the little baby photographer. God, those pictures are annoying. Who would do that to their own children? Hey, Doyle Alexander. There you go. Already had a 72 card. 21 years old in that picture. Bart Johnson. Oh, that is not the right Bart Johnson. I can tell you that for sure. Let's see. Is there a Bart Johnson? Oh, there is. Okay, good. Okay, great. We can get rid of the wrong Bart Johnson. Johnson, B-A-R. And then we'll add it. And we'll keep both files, because I'm sure that's being used for something. And then we'll do Bar Johnson 2. And then we'll go in here and make this a dose. Boom. There you go. That's the right guy. Doug Bear, very important part of the 84 Tigers. Seriously, like we would not have been able to do it without him. He was just a gun for hire for a while, Doug Bear. I don't think anybody ever actually, I don't know if he ever got used properly, but Sparky ran him out there all the time. Richie Maloney, we are in Double A, so we're getting close to the end here. Nope. What about Rich Maloney? No. Okay. All right, Jim Crawford. Now we are into the single A squad, so we're on the home stretch. We'll wrap it up. Jim Crawford, I believe he did pitch for the Detroit Tigers. No cards. Dan Spillner, good long career for the Padres and the Indians. Oops. Nope. I mean, we're probably not going to get another one. Hey, there's the Count. No, that's Montefusco. John DeQuisto. What was his... I don't think maybe he didn't have a nickname. I remember as a little kid when I would get a player with a last name that had a... what do you call those? I can't even think of what it's... The single quotation. I can't even think what they're called right now. That's my medicine I'm on. I would be like, oh, they must have spelled the name wrong. Like, this cannot be a real person. That can't be the real name. Comma. I don't know what those are called. We'll call them air commas. Oh, medicine. Good job. Softening my brain. All right. Al Holland, he had a good long career. But 72, no, did not exist. Randy Tate. Oh, man. Yeah, there's just nothing happening here. Chuck Rogers. That's somebody who did not exist. Okay. Steve Hamrick. I love those Seattle Missions uniforms. When the Mariners finally started getting their actual minor league system set up. Those are pretty cool. Frank Kenyon. Gosh, come on. These aren't even real people. Frank Kenyon. No. Danny Lazar. Well, Danny Lazar should have a card. Why does he not even have a card? That doesn't seem right. Plus, what a cool name. No, Danny Lazar's got to have a card. Somewhere. This is the last guy, by the way. Let's look him up the hard way. You're telling me there's no Dan Lazar? Let's try Dan Lazar. Yeah, okay. John Dan Lazar. There he is. 69, 70. That's all there was. Oh, here's a buyback. Oh, I wonder how much that would have, what that's worth. A 69 buyback. Cool. That would have been that card. All right. So yeah, we'll use. We'll just edit this in. All right. Add that. And then we got to go in here and add this. That's why it's always good to check. I mean, I know I knew this name, probably from a different sim. Did I put Dan or Danny? Oh, yeah, there it is. It's actually in there as Danny. Well, I don't know. This is a artistic creation. That's not even a real card. Okay. Well, this is all coming together now in my brain. And that'll do it. All right. Well, we wrapped up the Chicago White Sox. The next team will be Oakland. We'll try to do that tomorrow. I can't remember. Have we already done this? No, we have not. Okay, so the Oakland Athletics, we'll try to do that tomorrow. We got to get on top of this and start knocking these out since we are now not quite on the home stretch for our 1998 Arizona Diamondbacks series, but we're getting there. So I do appreciate everyone watching, like and or subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with another video. Until then, everyone, have a great day.